everybody. This is Jessie over at Grace and Truth Ministries. I am here today with my Hobonichi, and I am excited to show you guys my 2023 progress so far. Just gonna dig into what January and February looks like. I was a little hesitant. Sorry if you hear that. That's my dog. I'm on my break right now, and he's so like wiry some days. He just gets all wound up and he doesn't settle down when I come home. So that's where he's at today. My schedule was a little bit different, and he got a treat from the mailman today. So he's like happy and not calmed down yet. So if you hear him walking around, that's why. Anyways, I wasn't sure if I was going to share like my progress of how far I've gotten yet, because to be honest, I'm not as like far in keeping up with my journaling as I want to be. I feel like this has just kind of been a season for me that's a little more challenging. I had some health situations come up, which kind of changed some of my daily routines. And then I had some work kind of hiccups occurring. And I live in Wisconsin, and it's supposed to be springtime, but it's still winter. And so, just overall, I feel like I'm in that kind of like hump of where my creativity is just a little bit challenged, and like my time for everything is kind of running a little bit less. So, but I did kind of get to a place where I was like, okay, well, I think I can show you guys now. So anyway, if you haven't seen my layout for my 2023, that is on a different video if you want to come in and kind of see it. But I'll share like where I'm at. My index is pretty much finished for this month. Oh my gosh, Beethoven, really? No, you can't play with that right now. Hey, just go lay down. Just lay down. You can play with your toys in a little bit. Just give me a minute. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry. Do you hear him? He's like, okay, I'm just going to show you my dog. He is like look at this guy. Look at him. Beethoven, boy. He is like the most... Okay, he's got a story. I might as well just share his story with you, because since I'm digressing in less than 30 seconds into this video, might as well. Beethoven was a dog that we rescued him back in November, and he, and now I'm going to try to put this on this thing again, and that's not going to work out very well for me. Yeah, maybe not. Okay. He is a rescue dog from, basically, we think he's a fighting dog. His vet actually thinks he's a fighting dog because he's got a lot of injuries. And furthermore, it's really actually very, very sad. It's called dirty dog syndrome. And so what that means is he really can't be kenneled because his history shows that he really has no care or concern for being in a kennel, meaning he was neglected so badly that like he has no problem pooping in his kennel and smearing it all over the place. And he has like no consideration. It doesn't bother him at all. So we had to work really hard at toilet training him. I do have to kind of take like 2 breaks in a day from work to help him stay on a schedule where he doesn't go to the bathroom in the house. See, now he's calm and peaceful. He just needed a minute. But the vet also noticed that his breed mix is like, he's bred intentionally to be small, and there's like a region in our state that's kind of notorious for doing that, and so she's thinking that that's his story. But he is somewhere between an English bulldog and an American bulldog. He's very much a bully, and he's just stubborn like one sometimes too, but he's also a sweet couch potato, and we love him very much. Okay, so I chose Grace for my what I sensed that God was like showing me for the month of February, and it really has to do with kind of a lot of the incidences that happened in the month, and some stuff that kind of went on in my life. So as you can see, I had this like hospital stay, and there was just a lot going on at that time. So then I'll come to, y'all, did I even do a January video? I don't think I did. So we'll just kind of do a quick flip through. My weeklies are, for the most part, pretty boring. I try to make them fun sometimes by like adding pictures, but really this is just about like my daily prayer to God, maybe putting some little like notes or things that kind of stood out to me at that time. Oh, there's my husband, and see, look how little he is. He's tiny, but he's so stocky. He's like 50 pounds of like iron. I mean, you try to sleep in bed and he like takes up the whole bed even though he's tiny. It's the most bizarre thing I've seen in my life. Okay, and then over here I'll put like the verse of the week. And so that's just kind of how I do these weekly layouts. I have to share a story about this because it's actually really beautiful. So my church had chose to do like a ministry where they invited all of the members to pick up an envelope that was full of $20 and just find a way to share God's love for other people. And isn't that crazy? Because look at what the sticker was that I picked for that week, and then this is what actually happened on the weekend, so that's kind of cool. But basically what happened in the process is so many people shared their stories in what they did with the money and how it affected people and, you know, how it inspired people. And one of the things that kind of happened was a family was so inspired by this event that they actually went to the city we live in. They went to the school district there, and they paid all of the unpaid lunch balances for the entire school district's children, and it ended up being like a $6,000 donation, which is amazingly inspiring and beautiful. And like, I think that there was some other really awesome stories that came from this, and it was just a really fun opportunity to, you know, minister to people. So but yeah, so that's kind of how I use my weekly sheets. Okay, now I'm getting into March, so we're gonna go to the next step. I wanted to try to just like bring you guys through January, February, and save March for another video, probably with April included too, or maybe not. Okay, so at the beginning of each month, I make these little tabs on my daily sheets, and then I put in my goals for the month. So what do I want to achieve? And they're specifically like, what are my faith goals? Because again, this specifically is my faith journal. I do have one that's like this one is my journal for like my life, note keeping stuff. This one's pretty far behind. So that's where those goals would go, but this is faith specific. So but yeah, so that's where I start, and then I do my verses of the week. And usually when I'm picking a verse of the week, this is kind of an interesting process. Either my husband will help pick it out, or something will come up, like God will show a certain verse that he wants me to study, or I just kind of pick it at random. But that's how that process works. So then I have a tendency to put little art pieces into my journals. I really like to be a little bit, I don't know what the word is, creative with what I'm putting in. It just helps to inspire me and keep me kind of on track. So and then I try to do a verse of the week for each week, and then I dig into my daily pages. So see, that's something I got. A lot of times I'll get art from the internet and I'll use that. Sometimes if there's something that's inspiring, like a post or something, I might make a entry about that. This is a quite empty page because I want to add to it. This is a page that I have tabbed specifically for as I go throughout the year and do Bible studies. It's kind of like if I get stuck and I don't know what I want to study about, this page just reminds me about, you know, what areas that I want to study for the year. So, oh yeah, we had a snow day. If I don't have an idea for a page, sometimes I'll just put like a verse in that stood out to me for that day. Sometimes I might just ask like prompting questions and then write about that. Sometimes it's strictly about gratitude for things that are going on in my life. Sometimes I will include little art pieces, like this is from a kid at the daycare that drew that for me, and I try to just utilize, you know, things that are in my life. If I'm not done with a page, I might put a post-it note in for something to add to it or whatever. Sometimes I put my thoughts on a post-it note. Yeah, so that's how that looks. And then my February goals. Now, February, I didn't really get a lot done because in this month, I ended up in the hospital quite a bit. I actually had like multiple hospital visits, a couple ER visits, and then an actual hospital visit while I was going through some diagnostic testing. So my whole world just kind of went like that. That's the literal, that is the literal sound. I'm just kidding. But okay, so on that note, like I have these little check boxes for my goals, and yeah, they're not a ton complete, and that's okay. That's gonna happen. I mean, as you can literally see, I started the month with the ER visit. So and then I made this page with you guys. Here's a verse of the week. Like I said, I have a tendency to really dig art a lot. My pages don't like always have a lot going on, but I do enjoy putting different art that makes me think different things about God. Like I love the idea that God, you know, He's the creator, and I think about women and men who cook and, you know, use things from the earth and make things. I mean, cooking is like it's a beautiful way, I think, of acknowledging how God designed everything for us. And I like this like planetary salad. This is just one of the 70s artists that comes from like the Jesus movement. That page is a little private. But yeah, so then, oh, here's my husband and I. This is like right before I went into the hospital. We did a speech. We were speakers at our church regarding marriage, and that was pretty cool. It was a lot of fun to do. I would definitely do it again. And then this was like the second ER visit, and then like shortly after that, this is pretty much blank because this day I ended up in the hospital. So yeah, so in the next couple days are just kind of like, you know, talking a little bit about that. There's some blank pages that I didn't really get done. Me just trying to process what it means for my life to be looking a little different. And then here we are at March. So I love this picture, and I don't know, I just love this page. I think, again, because it's like winter in Wisconsin still, even though it's spring, at this time of year, I look at everything. Plus, I really just love the color yellow. Do you see that? That's my shirt. Like, I just like the bright cheeriness that it brings, and I really enjoy it. So I chose that for this season, hoping that I can maybe get a little bit more positive feelings moving forward. So this is my journal for where I'm at. Sorry, I totally just shifted focus, but that's because I sat down. I don't think it's like a super inspiring thing. Maybe it is. I feel like the thing about journaling to me is, you know, you're gonna get like here, there's a whole bunch of pages that I'm just not caught up on. There's literally like tabs like do this, write this. And that's where I'm getting a little discouraged because I do feel like I'm behind, but I know journals are meant to be a place that you can share your thoughts, that you can walk through them. They're not always going to be perfect. Sometimes you're not going to have a lot of time, you know, to spend as you would want to in your journals. And I guess I can say to that, like, don't get discouraged. If you're like me and if you have like pages like that are just, some are written in, some are blank, some are, you know, undone, some are done. Like, it's okay. I mean, that's okay. That's the process that I'm in at this time. I've had times when I've journaled that are just like, everything's perfect and everything's caught up and you know, things are looking good. And sorry guys, that was totally, I'm an amateur videographer when I don't use my little clamp thingy. But the key focus here is that just use it for what it's intended for. Like, use it for what you want to purpose it for. And if it doesn't work for you, then don't use it. Like, I spent some time, I'm going to show you this, and I made this journal, and I'm not really sure why I did, other than I wanted something to have a different purpose, and I wanted to be able to just like have a space that could mean something different for me, artistically. And so that's what I did. And, you know, I'm using it in a different way, and that's like fine. I mean, I feel like that's helpful. It's helpful for me to be able to come to this space and do something that's slightly different than, say, my memory keeping journal, which is like this one, and my faith journal. And I think the key here is just do stuff that's like keeping you inspired. Like, do things that are gonna help your heart, so that when you are communicating with God and when you are writing to him, or, you know, when you're thinking about like your life, or you're writing love letters to your kids, or however you do your own journaling, make sure that you stay the course and that it's something that is important to you. Because if you're doing it just to do it, then it's kind of like useless, right? Like, it's like, why am I doing that? Like, I have a journal that I really started off and I was like, oh, I love it, and I still love it, but I don't know, I kind of lost its intentions for a little bit, and I had to shift gears, and that's okay. I'll come back to it. I still really love it, but journaling should be something that brings love and not like drains you. I guess. And and know your seasons, right? Like, this season in my life, I mean, it was really busy. It was full of stuff, and so it's okay. It's okay that all my pages look like this right now. Like, I feel like that's okay. Like, this video screenshot thing, I put a note for myself on. It's because I have, where is it even? I have, oh, it's over here. I am so good at filming. I'm sorry. I have this, video. See, this is where I travel to and from, and oh yeah, right there. So I have these, like, look at my husband. That's my man. He doesn't normally get film time on camera, because he is a guitarist, but in worship, it's not really about the guitarists, you know what I mean? It's about other stuff. But I wanted to put a screenshot of him on the day that he performed, that he got film time, because that is rare. And then I wanted to put one, you know, up here too, because this is where I keep track of, like, you know, what's unique or what's special about, you know, what we did in our service to the Lord that year. So I think I'm going to use this one and stick it in there somehow because it's just cool. His guitar looks all pretty. So I'll probably put that on the page somewhere, and then I'll finish it. But the point is that you're not always going to have these like perfect days. Like, what is this, the 12th? It's not the 12th today. It is like today is the 21st. So as you can see, I'm very behind. But that's just going to be the case. So what do you think? How do you guys, like, an honest question that I have for you guys on this channel? First of all, do you journal? Do you prayer journal like this? And if so, what does your prayer time look like, or how do you make it work for you? I can tell you in my days, I pray this section right here where it says pray. That's the weekly section, and that I do like every single morning. In my Bible study time, I do that. But my daily journals, where I really sit down and I think, and I'm like, Lord, let's go through this day together. Let's talk about what you wanted me to learn. Let's talk about what was good, what was bad, like what are you pressing on my heart? Where am I going from here? What do I need help with? That time is the time that I seem to struggle to find the sit down time to do. So yeah, I would love to hear about your routines, how you make it work. And also I kind of want to hear what you guys think about my layout for the year. So if you guys like the Hobonichis, if you use them personally, I just love journaling and I love talking to you guys. So yeah, give me a shout out. Let me know in the comments below what else you guys would like to see for the next upcoming videos. And I just pray that when you watch this today, you know, that it blesses you, that somehow through my up and down of sharing this information with you, that you find a way to be inspired to start your own journal practice. Because I can tell you, talking to God in a written form is so worth it. Oh, and I was going to show you guys this too. Hold up. I started this too. I'm sorry. I wanted the opportunity to just really hone in on where my heart is when God shares the word with me. Sorry, this is really like the focal point. There we go. So in my Bible time, when I am reading the Bible, I do have a Bible and journal that I use for study notes, but I wanted one that I could keep track of like prayers and things that God has stand out to me, like any specific content that he's sharing in my heart. So say for instance, if I go to turn to the Bible and I'm like, Lord, I just need you today. I need your help. Like, open your word to me. Help me see what it is that you want me to see. And then I turn to that page. I'm using this section to journal about it. Like, talk about, you know, what did the message mean for me? You know, do I have gratitude for him opening the word? And then I'm also putting, like, if there's old records of when he opened up the word to me, I'm putting those in there too. So this is going to be like a catalog of the time that God has used his word to speak to me, and that I've had to be able to, you know, reflect on and look back at all the ways that we've communicated through his word. So yeah, I thought that might be an interesting thing to share with y'all. Again, thank you very much for stopping by and sticking with me as I open up my chaotic internal brain. But I still hope it touches you guys. I really do. I appreciate this opportunity to share everything with y'all. And thank you for tuning in today, and just have a great and blessed day. I love you guys. I'll talk to you later. Bye.